This is Baski Incorporated, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assemble the Baski access port valve. So before we get started, the first thing you want to do is grease up all your O-rings. I've already done that with all these, but let me show you how we do that. We use the Dow 111 on that. Basically all you need to do is get a little bit of that on your finger, and then run the O-ring all the way through it. Make sure you coat the entire surface. Once you get your O-rings all greased up, we're going to get the base pipe and put a thread cap on the bottom just to protect it. I'm going to set it right side up on the table. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our O-rings and backing rings into the grooves on the base pipe. There are a few different configurations for this. For some sizes, you use an O-ring in between two backing rings. For this one specifically, you just need one backing ring beneath each O-ring. So with these backing rings, one thing you have to pay attention to is that one side is a little bit more concave than the other. That side needs to go up against the O-ring. In place. Okay, we got in the first groove. Let's do it again for the second groove. Alright, so once we got those in place, the next thing we're going to do, grab another one of those backing rings and we're going to put it in this top groove here. It's not going to stay there, we just use it there for installing the next part so it doesn't damage the O-ring. Alright, once we got that in place, we're going to grab the piston housing. We're going to put the O-ring on inside the groove in here. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this Dow 710R silicone oil, and we're going to coat the whole outside of the base pipe and the whole inside of the piston housing. Alright, once we got those nice and coated, we're going to put the piston housing down onto the base pipe. Now, it might give us a little bit of trouble trying to get past this groove with the sacrificial backing ring in it, so it might take a little bit of hammering. Try and work that O-ring past the threads. Alright, so to hammer it easily, what we're going to do is take a piece of aluminum pipe or something and hammer on top of that. As you can see, that backing ring was destroyed in the process. That's fine. Just take the piece off and discard that. The next thing we're going to do is put the retaining ring into this groove. So this is definitely the most tedious part of this whole process, and I'll show you a few techniques to get it over the threads here. First thing we want to do is just put it down as far as we can. From there, what you can do to get it past the threads is if you take a pair of pliers and you push on the back end of it, you can actually drive it along the threads, and that's a pretty good way to do it. Another maybe faster technique, so if you use the pliers, you can grab the bottom end of the ring. We're going to pull it down a few threads, and then we're just going to go around and work it all the way around. And probably also have to use the pliers to work it past that wrench relief. Okay, and now we just slide it down into the groove. Perfect. And we're just going to go all the way around, visually check that it's all the way into the groove. The next thing we're going to do is take the alignment pin, and that's going to go into this groove, or this recess right here. A good technique for getting it to stay put is we take some of this Dow 111, put a generous amount on the pin, and when we put it in place, it stays there. Now we're going to take the piston housing, slide it up against this ring, making sure that the pin is aligned with the groove on the inside of the housing. Okay, got it in place. Looks like it's holding it aligned. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the assembly over, gap the other side. Alright, next thing we're going to do is install the piston. Take the piston here. Now we need to have the O-ring inside the groove here. Put that in place. Now we're going to push the piston down onto the base pipe and into the housing. Now it's going to give you a little bit of resistance getting past the O-rings right there, so we're going to hammer this as well. It doesn't have to go all the way down, just down enough that it's inside the housing. Make sure that it can move. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is install the piston stop. So we're going to take that. That's going to get 2 O-rings on the inside and then 1 on the outside. Okay, now we're going to slide the piston stop down onto, or into the housing. It goes with the spiral groove facing down. And we're going to hammer that one into place as well. You should feel a hard stop when it goes down into place. And what it should look like is the flat spot on your piston stop should be flush with your housing. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is assemble the T-seal assembly. So we're going to grab the T-seal holder here. First thing we're going to do is put the O-rings into the 2 bottom grooves here. Okay, once those O-rings are in place, we're going to place an O-ring into the bottom groove of the top half of the T-seal holder. Okay, once you get that into place, we're going to put in the lower retainer ring. Or rather, the T retainer, not the retainer ring. So there's 2 different T retainers that come in this assembly. One of them's got a slightly smaller diameter than the other, and a slightly smaller profile. That's the lower one. So we're going to put that in place with this recessed corner facing upwards. Okay, we're going to go around and just visually check that it's gone all the way down into place. Next thing we're going to do is install the T-seal. Now, the T-seal usually comes with 2 plastic rings that are meant to go on either side of it. We don't actually need those. That's what the retainer or the T-seal retainers are for. So we can go ahead and discard those. The T-seal is going to slide down into place. Next thing we're going to do is put an O-ring into the second to top most groove. Now I'm going to slide in the upper T retainer. This one goes with the recessed corner here, facing down towards the T-seal. Okay. And if everything is installed correctly, what we should have is the top groove is flush with the top of the upper T retainer. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take the larger retaining ring and we're going to put that into the groove. Visually check that it's gone all the way into the groove, all the way around. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the screen and we're going to slide that down over your APV assembly. And then we're going to take the T-seal holder and slide that down over top. Alright, once that's in place, we're going to take the last retaining ring, we're going to slide that down into the groove right here. Now I showed you previously a few techniques for making this happen. Now I'm just going to use an installation tool that we have here at the shop. Make sure that snap ring is in place all the way around. And that is how you assemble the Baski access port valve.